So,
good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Cashflow Digital. No Mike again, but that could be a good thing. But before we go into talking about anything, check out Niche Website Builders. The link is below if you want to check out how they might be able to help you with your affiliate projects. So check them out, and if there's anything you want to buy it, of course. And we are here today to answer your questions on anything relating to digital marketing, business, whatever you fancy, or we can just talk shit.
that's what I do best.
Let us know who is there. Let us know if you want to see my Instagram real-time counter working.
Will it go down if I like stop following you on there?
Yeah. Instagram, Craig Campbell SEO. Live Twitter counter. Live Instagram counter. It is going to hang up behind me eventually.
Someone already noticed, Craig.
Yeah.
No, loud eggs. Hang on, let me.
A new creature on the couch.
I put that there specifically.
Joe has got a BDI. But guys, Instagram. Yes. Pouty lips. Follow me on Instagram, Maeve Nerdy Romero. I've got a live Instagram counter here. And this will go up as you follow. So let's see. The username on Instagram is Craig Campbell SEO. No.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, it's going up. Is it going up or going down?
It went down.
Hang on.
Dude, you thought I was bullshitting, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It takes every 10 seconds, it syncs.
All right, it should go back up in 10 seconds.
There you go.
Hang on.
Woohoo! So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it would go down if you unfollowed. That's cool.
Yeah, that's real time, quite interesting. But how did I get one of those counters? Bought it. It was the Joe. I was saying yesterday on a live. I bought one for Instagram and I'm waiting on the one for TikTok. Bought it and then thought, what the fuck? Why am I buying this shit? It's just as bad as going on to AppSumo and buying shit that you know you don't need, like your good self. So rather than spending a lot of money in AppSumo, I thought, why not get something like that? And it's going to hang up there somewhere. That's the plan anyway. So
that's cool.
We shall see. But anyway, back to Loud Eggs first BDI thing. There's a new creature on the couch. What
it's
is
a burrito? No, that one. Burrito. I put that there specifically for this audience right before the show. That's why I was late. I went into my kid's room. I was like, what can I fucking put up there? I was like, Spider-Man be too obvious. I was like, this burrito will work. So people expect change, you know.
Yeah.
It's got to change something.
And yes, Nerdy Romero, it's all pouty lips. Hey.
All mate. Pouty lips and cleavage on his Instagram.
Yeah. Man boobery.
Mm-hmm. If you want the real stuff, go over to Reddit.
But yeah, Joe, bought it online. Something called smirl.com. Not trying to sell it. But hey, if you fancy that, fair enough. MD Fuad bin Shams. Is it necessary to learn HTML5, CSS, or JavaScript for SEO?
I would say it's not necessary, but it would help. If you have those core skills, it will help you get items done a lot quicker. It's not as clunky. So I started with HTML. That's about all I know. Some basic CSS, but I don't really do a ton. But I can shit out the sites now, and especially for what I do, the HTML is really coming to play. Like all I've got to do is keep building sites. And then set them up, put content, link to them, and then that's my SEO campaign. So the quicker I can do that, the better it is. That's actually something I'm thinking about making a first hire, and it would be a web developer, web design person.
Yeah, that was one
in-house.
of my first. I hired a sales guy first, then a developer, and I ain't touched websites since. Fuck
yeah, see, I would probably go with the developer first, just because client SEO isn't really my focus. So it'd be building out my own assets or building out assets for clients. I can sell them as long as they leave me alone after. Might get a PM if I had more clients, but if you're just selling people leads, the leads coming in, are they paying? That's it.
Yeah.
So, I had a guy behind on a few invoices. I had to send him. I was like, "Hey, he's going to get taken care of." Send him 3 past invoices. So that's it. So.
Yes, and Blue Hacker unfollowed. Come on, Blue Hat Hacker. AppSumo. I wonder, as long as the sea urchin stays,
it's back there.
Joe's happy. Kyle Starkey. Nerdy Romero, on your AI websites that spiked and then fell off a cliff from earlier today, how much editing did you do to those articles? Not a lot, Nerdy. Not a lot. The plan is just now, because again, still testing stuff. I have a new project that is just all taken straight from ChatGPT. Now it's working. It is working. It is moving onwards and upwards. No editing. And I've got another one where I am doing what I would normally do. So there's like a 4-phase process. So get it from ChatGPT, run it through Quillbot, get a bit of human editing, go into Grammarly, sort out the spelling mistakes, check for plagiarism, and then onto the website. So that I would expect to last longer. And I think that human touch is required, to be honest. But I just want to see how far we can push the AI as well. So yeah, that is the answer to that one, Nerdy.
I'm testing some Fiverr stuff for that right now. Just ordering articles from Fiverr and throwing them up. That's what I was doing right before, or earlier this morning. So
it's interesting test to do, but so Loud Egg is also given an answer to that, Nerdy. AI content with no editing is fluctuating for me from page 1 to 5. How much editing do you do though, Joe? Is it Quillbot and then up, or are you actually sitting doing different headers and doing a fair bit of tweaking using Page Optimizer Pro or something like that? Just curious.
If you're running it through Surfer, it should take care of the pop stuff, to be honest, for the most part. I used pop a little bit, but yeah, it's the same concept.
I've always just liked pop, just as I've used it for longer.
Yeah.
So Loud Egg is doing Quillbot, Grammarly, Surfer. Makes perfect sense. So, yeah. Honey, for rank and rent website only, CPC $2 to $4 can be the deciding factor to choose the niche.
I typically try and determine if there's money in the niche in general, and then I don't look at CPC after that, because what's the CP? Like you want, if you're running an AdSense site, maybe because that's where your money is going to come from. If I'm running a substance abuse or a personal injury site, then I know that the call is going to pay out. So at that point, I don't care about CPC. I don't even necessarily use it to avoid niches either. I know a lot of people, I don't want to go after that one because it's going to be too hard because the CPC is too high. Maybe, but if you could throw it up on your site and throw up a bunch of other stuff too, then you're going to rank for something. So yeah, I don't necessarily look at CPC. I don't necessarily look at what's the metric in Ahrefs, the difficulty or whatever. Yeah, that always seems way off. Difficulty of 0. Okay, I should be able to throw something, and you're looking at it. If you know the niche at all, you're like, that's not a 0. So
done that a few times though. Looked at
Yeah.
that KD and went, yeah. And what I always find is the ones that are super, like KD 70 plus or whatever, aren't actually as competitive as you
not
think.
a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was fairly easy. So yeah, a bit of a flawed signal.
Yeah, just I mean, in my opinion, just keep publishing content, and then it'll break eventually.
Harish, how to give a stronger signal to Google if a brand knowledge panel is missing wiki data?
Yeah, that, I mean, just general site authority as well. So that would entail backlinks. So tie everything together, have all your socials ready. Yeah, and then with the Wikidata shit. So
do your Wikidata, and there are, if you go to calicube.pro, I think it is, Jason Bernard's tool, he can show you certain things to get listed on, whether that be LinkedIn, Crunchbase, various other things that help along the way to pop in that knowledge panel as well. But I think Wikidata is the main one. If you want that to try and pop, you need to get some basic presence on there, and you can pay for someone with an aged account to place you on there. So bear that in mind. I've given the golden nugget away. Someone with an aged account. Don't do it yourself with your brand new account with no history. Because
you mean I can't go in later today and create it?
No.
Unless
you've got an aged account.
I don't have an aged anything.
Apart from an aged old ass.
Yeah, that sits a lot.
With backlinks, in Nerdy, back to Nerdy. Brad, once you recreate, set up a local Serp Shaker site, do you put a blog and have regular scheduled content?
Some of them I do, and I'll just grab something like WP Automatic that'll pull it in, spin it, and throw it back up. And I'll just grab like general news feeds like that. You can do that. I do it on some, but not all. Of course, a lot of my mass pages HTML as well. So of course, I'm not going to do it on that. If it's WordPress and I feel like putting extra time and effort into it, I'll do it. But I don't really know if it helps at all. So I just do it to switch things up, vary up site types and stuff like that, and not be quite so obvious. But yeah, I've got sites running, they'll publish every single day, pull something in, spin it, post it back up on my site, and that's it.
Hopefully that helps you, Nerdy. Keep the questions coming, folks. Loud Egg says, before it was research and write, not if you were Brad. Now it's AI and fact check, and the fact checking can take longer than human writing. So here's the funny thing, Joe. I'm not going to share it publicly on here, but I've got a football related website that I'm just throwing some chat.
American or the rest of the world football?
The rest of the world.
Oh, yes. Soccer. You got a soccer site. That's nice.
But I was putting in a football match report, trying to use ChatGPT, and it literally just spat out some random garbage on things that just did not fucking happen in that game. It just made it up. So yeah, the fact checking, be very careful, because this thing will just let loose and just make shit up. So there you go. Brad, do you ever use RankSnap?
No, what is it? I'm trying to look it up right now, but it goes to a login page and that's it.
RankSnap. I think it's a social media. RankSnap3.com. Nah, it's
non-SEO guys like me rank for hard keywords on page 1 of both Google and YouTube in minutes and stay there for years. Now, have you used it, Loud Egg?
I know the guys in the mastermind are tool fanatics, and they've thrown that one around a fair few times. And someone has literally just followed me on Instagram.
You hear that click? That would get on my nerves. Of course, no one would follow me. So,
guys, follow me on Insta, live Twitter counter, live Instagram counter. So Craig Campbell SEO, give it a follow, and you'll see my little counter going up in real time. But Loud Egg is saying it was brought up by Randy. Trying to, but it seems very old.
like Surf Shaker, when people try and use that, it seems old to them. But
Flavia, hurry guys, boost AI content to your sites. Yes, you find the solution. Come on, the content will be nothing in a few months. Helpful or not?
Is he right at using AI content for that comment?
Very possible Flavia has. I tend to agree, Flavia. I'm testing. I want to see how hard I can push it. Would I put this on my money sites? Absolutely no chance.
It's funny, my bot guy, I was going through a content creator using everything, just bringing together certain steps. Mention it to him. He's like, well, don't put it on your main site. He said, because Google hit it, whenever. And I said, don't worry, I don't have any main sites. They're all network sites. He's like, oh, okay.
It's a good angle to look at it from. Ryan Durrani, ahoy, gentlemen. A client of mine wants to launch local lead gen sites for real estate at scale. Can I get your tip? I mean, can I get tips, Brad? He wants.
Yeah, the first thing I would do, and because my wife used to work in the industry, so I helped them out. Of course, get the GMB if they don't already have one. Get as many as you can around the city if you can. Get those, of course. Push them traditional GMB methods. Another thing I would do, I don't know if it's like that over there, but they've got a feed that all the real estate, you've got to like be an actual, I can't remember what the specific API is called, but you've got to be an actual real estate agent to be able to pay for this feed, but then you can use it anywhere. So I would throw that feed on all the sites. That's an instant mass page site because it will start to rank for homes for sale in a specific neighborhood. Some shit that you'll never think of. Homes for sale on XYZ street, shit like that. So I would do that. And then I would go through and do the traditional Surf Shaker style pages where it's keyword plus city, 2-bedroom homes for sale in Glasgow, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, whatever. Just build out a huge ass keyword list like that and take it throughout your entire network. But I would get that feed on first because that's going to validate all the sites.
MLS feed.
Yeah, the MLS feed. It's a specific service that you pull from the MLS. It's all over Code Canyon. Like you can get themes that you can plug that API in. You can get plugins or you can plug the API, but it will not work without the API. And you've got to go through like the process to get the API. Because it was funny, I was it's like $80 a month or something. And I told the place that Kelsey's working, I said, hey, do you have this? No. Can you get it? I don't want to pay $80 a month. Okay, never mind. Just fuck it. I'm gonna stop helping you. So
oh man.
I have my own. Yeah. It's really basic. All you have to do is get someone to create one where it's you upload the short codes. So it's typically with the sites that I do, it's city, state, and state abbreviation. So those three, and then I just put in the short codes, create a template, and then I'll run the bot that I have, and it'll crap out like thousands of pages in a minute. Then I'll zip that folder, upload it to the directory, unzip it, and move them to the public HTML, the root folder, and I'll have them all. Then I'll run it through something like SynBite and be done. So easy way to get it. I had all these. I had that created because I had all these HTML landers and GMBs and shit. Because HTML is just easy to throw up and put it on a different site, change a few things, throw it up. It's a lot easier than setting up a WordPress or importing a WordPress, at least for me. So I was looking around and looking at my current network. I was like, okay, what assets do I have that I can squeeze more juice out of? I was like, well, I've got all these HTML landers I can't do shit with because they're HTML, and I'm not going to go in and make different HTML pages. So that was my solution, was to do that. So now I can go in, I can grab the index file, copy it over, add my short codes and upload it. And like, you can have a quick, 10, 20 mile radius and cover all the cities as opposed to that one central location that the GMB is covering. So
it would also be rude of me not to ask anyway. So I'm just going to ask anywhere anyone can get their hands on that. Or is this a closed?
It's something I created for my personal use. If someone wants it, shoot me a price, I guess. I don't know.
Got to ask the question.
Yeah.
Got to ask the question.
It's honestly, it's simple to make though, for anyone doing it. So yeah, it's bare bones because I hate when people add all this extra shit and complicate it and try and charge more. So I'll look at something that's like overcomplicated, like something that someone's selling. I was like, okay, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. All I need is this core function. I can do that. And it makes it a lot better. So, but people like to add features. So.
Yeah. Now, as long as it works for you, mate, that's the main thing. Blue Hat Hacker says create a bunch of Zillow profiles.
Zillow's everywhere. Yeah. Zillow would definitely be a part of my entity in that niche.
Real estate blog away about landmarks, beaches, etc. says Joe. Flavia, spin, serp, shake is more safe. Brad, how much chat GPT content do you use, if at all?
I have my guys create like surfer content. So what's the other one? Jarvis and Surfer is pretty much what I have them use. They're trained on it. I wouldn't be able to go into either of those and create an article. So I just order it. So, but that type of content, I just have the weekly tasks that I have them do. So I've got, it was funny. You remember the test I was running where I said I ordered 140 something pages for that. It was either Otis or Niche Website Builder's domain. But I threw that up. I checked it today, and it's like going straight up. Like the impressions and clicks are going up, and I haven't, of course, linked to it or done anything aside from what I did initially. So interesting.
Interesting, right enough. Crushing Prince, what should I do for a new affiliate website with around 20 posts? Should I start building foundation links such as Web 2.0?
Yeah, go to Marketer Center and order them. Order the social foundations and don't use keyword-based anchor. Just use URL and like come up with a big list of maybe branded plus market as well. But yeah, Marketer Center, use that.
Marketer Center, and here is the boss, as Maeve called him last week. Have you made this kind of process work for home services, medical, home improvement, and construction industries? Doubt you could use it to build business, then sell real business in construction.
Yes, you can. The mini niche definitely can. We had one of the OG NFG members. He's selling his construction company right now, and that's what he started out doing. So 6 years later, and he's making, I assume, a good amount.
What about candles?
Yes, you can do candles as well. I haven't done candles in a while. Man candles specifically. Gifts for men.
Gifts for men. Nerdy is saying his problem is he's going to spend the next 2 weeks trying to build that script instead of paying someone else. LOL. Thanks for telling me the spec sheet. So,
yeah, it's one of the most straightforward bots I've ever had the dude make. So,
and Mike Pierce says BS.
It's all BS. This industry is BS, to be honest. I don't know why anyone does it.
Still money in the table, dude. Still money in plenty of money in the table. Maeve, who rhymes with Dave, has a few tests in the wild with pure AI and edited.
How are they going, Maeve? I know you were hitting that pretty hard.
Yeah, let us know how it's going, Maeve. And Maeve was also asking about niche edits. I sent on your way.
Oh yeah, she messaged Mike, I think.
Cool. Hopefully Mike replied. What is a TDS?
I'm trying to think of something that's not. I can only think of like crude stuff that I don't want to get your channel banned.
Tenancy deposit scheme.
Tennessee deposit scheme?
Tenancy. So we call that we call that something in the UK. Traffic DS, he's trying to
traffic distribution system.
But tenancy deposit scheme is what it's short for in the real estate in the UK. You get tenants in there and they have to put a deposit down, and it's government backed and all that shit. So it's a real estate term here in the UK, but we don't call it real estate. We just call it property.
Property?
Yeah.
So what are you, property agents, like instead of real estate agents?
Yeah.
Oh. Like petrol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude, Sam. Who's Sam and what did he do?
Which Sam? Sam from Minnesota?
We don't know what Sam you're talking about, Mike. But let us know who Sam is. But also, guys, let us know more questions. If you're earwigging and you want something answered.
I think we scared everyone off with that, the network build last week.
Yeah. But
I don't joke.
I got a lot of good feedback from last week's show.
Good.
A lot of guys said they enjoyed it. So
it's something. What's old is new again. So I just try. I really do try and avoid doing that, because I know when I learned it, I'm like, that's all I want to do. But I wouldn't build out the individual sites like I should, because you're hurrying to try and link them all up. Or you're trying to do it with Web 2.0s, which in my opinion, it might still work. I haven't tried it, but I doubt it's going to be nearly as effective as it was 6-8 years ago.
People massively overcomplicate it. There was a fella in my mastermind. It was like, hey, talking about PBNs. He's I'm not going to say his niche, but he's like, should I just buy another domain name that's not relevant to this niche and make that a PBN? I'm like, dude, no, like, make sure you're buying something that's relevant. That's the whole purpose in doing it. He's like, but can I not change the relevance? I'm like, nah, man. But I think a lot of people do overcomplicate it in their head, or it's a difficult one where you're like, no, dude, just buy your fucking website.
Yeah.
And also PBNs don't have to just be expired domains. Now, yes, if you can get something you can leverage, but back in the day when I was building PBNs, I didn't know I was building PBNs at the time. Yeah. I just had fucking loads of domain names.
Yeah.
The keyword rich domains.
Did you ever do a bunch of PMDs and shit? I did that. One of the easiest campaigns I've ever had. It was an Amazon client. It was a long time ago, but they were selling penny boards. Do you know what those are on Amazon?
No.
They're the little like bright colored skateboards. Like they fit in your backpack. They're smaller. They're called penny boards. So she's selling those. 160,000 searches a month for penny boards in Google, and she had an Amazon listing. So all I fucking did was I used Mike's software. I think right after he sold it to Network Empire, I put it was VKraken and Social Explosion. So it was pulling in YouTube videos, and it was back when those would do really well. The YouTube videos and the description and comments, pulling all those in and immediately putting it out to like the social network. So within a month or so of running that, I built out some silos and shit on it. I got what was it? pennyboardmayhem.com. So it was fresh domain, but I took it from DA0, and this is when DA still meant some kind of something. But took it from DA0 to DA like 25 in like a few weeks. And then I went out and ordered an iWriter article. You remember them?
Yeah.
iWriter? Yeah. So shitty article. Posted that on the as the homepage. Well, I've still got all the other shit going in the background. Linked it over to her Amazon listing. It almost instantly switched out within like a week or so for penny boards. So there's already an Amazon listing on there, but it switched out with her Amazon listing, and she did well. She was happy. So,
do you know that iWriter's still a thing?
I think it's around, but the problem with the iWriter is they were embedding that code to where you couldn't tell if it was plagiarism or not. So you never knew. Like the quality kept like going down and down and down. So, and with the AI shit, it's like, why would you not just order that instead of?
Yeah.
It's not like they're taking their fucking time, like the lower end iWriter people. I need articles I preferred after a while. I liked them. I didn't mind them. So, or Quillbot, Spin Rewriter, all of the, if this is before I was like spinning a bunch of shit and using Quillbot and all that stuff. So I would actually, I don't know how many fucking iWriter articles I ordered, but it was a shit ton.
Mike saying he ran that in jewelry for 1 month. For a year, Google discovered pages and got me paid. I was publishing 4 times an hour for 12 hours a day and giving each post over 250 tweets and Data Hub.
Dude, Twitter used to work like crazy to push YouTube videos into Google. You would put out a live stream YouTube video, run it through. You didn't even need Social Explosion. You could run it through. What was that 2.0 one? They got rid of Twitter. I can't remember, but you'd run it through a bunch of Twitter accounts or a bunch of posts, and then it would like instantly hit. Like I was ranking for like truck accident lawyer San Diego and shit like that with video.
And is Social Explosion still a thing? I know you said Mike sold it, but
yeah, he sold network. Are they still running that, Mike? I know they burnt the network there shortly after, but I would assume they'd build it back up.
There was another dude here in the UK, a guy called Stephen Bartlett, who had a business, Social Chain. It was called, and I'm assuming it's a similar thing, where basically you could become fucking trending for literally anything. And I'm pretty sure that business is worth about 500 million. Or he sold it for round about that. So, Mike, I hope you get fucking decent money in the bank for that. But yeah, they were buying up Facebook accounts and all that, unused Facebook accounts, groups and all that shit. It was insane.
The shit works. I mean, honestly, right now, I would just go. And if I wanted to do something similar to that, I would get an IFTTT network built out and go that route. Then it's your own network. It's not nearly as good as what Social Explosion was back in the day, but yeah.
They burnt it.
Yeah, they did. Well, they sold it to everyone. as many people as they could, and it just overloaded the network too. That dude Sam.
The problem was that when they had people to pay for credits, they couldn't afford to replicate.
The credits were too much. So if you to do what he was talking about, you needed a shit ton of credits. And at that point, it's not worth it. FCS, that's it. Yes. FCS network.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. They took Twitter off a long time ago. I loved it. I would run. I would do the 2.0s, like the traditional dash stacks from back in the day, and then I would run FCS to that. Then I would run GSA to that, and all my FCS properties were ranking. All the 2.0s were ranking. Everything was fucking going ape shit. I would use a Weebly as like my primary site. So I would build out the Weebly for whatever keyword I want to go after, and then interlink all the 2.0s. And then FCS to that, and then GSA. It's fucking awesome.
I think it is still downloadable.
It was a SaaS. It wasn't, or no, was it? No, it was desktop, I think. One of them was. No, I think their account creator was desktop. Their primary where you run them through was SaaS.
See you later, Mike. Blue Hat, Mike is pretending that you are actually Eli. You might very well be. It was both. Back when Hotmail and Yahoo didn't care what you created.
Yeah, you had all kinds of. You just buy hundreds of Hotmail and Yahoo accounts.
I'm going to.
Those were the days back in. What year was that? 2012, 2013, somewhere in there.
Nerdy, he is well and all good, and I'm going to say fingers crossed back next week, but I'm not going to be here next week. I'm in Dubai.
Why not?
Next week.
Oh,
Dubai.
Dude, I can have the week off.
So yeah, I'll be because they're 4 hours further ahead, so it'll be like fucking 9 p.m. over there. I ain't coming on at 9 p.m. in Dubai.
I don't mind you on at 9 p.m. It doesn't bother me at all.
Nah,
it's fine with me for you to be on at 9 p.m.
No chance. But he will be back the following week, which is the 7th of March, I think. Time's flying in, actually. Fucking Christmas already. It just felt like it's Christmas just the other day, and now we're back towards March.
February is a short month.
N.O. Mike Pierce, N.O. I'll set it up StreamYard if you want to do it.
He'd send it to who's the Vietnamese farm guy before you, Mike?
Live IRL fan.
Yeah, Live IRL.
Yeah, I will give it to him before you, Mike.
Don't know who the fuck it is,
but even Brad doesn't allow you access to the NFG one.
I gave him access. Yeah, I get you want to hear something funny. This is another reason why you don't need to fucking give him access to it. I give him access to it, right? I add him, just add his Gmail. And then all of a sudden, I get something on my phone. Not like immediately, but a few days later, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, NFG is just our live video. I was like, what the fuck is Mike doing? And I click on it. And it's some like game like that you would have on your phone. Like the ones that they advertise all the time that look shitty. Yeah. They're on your phone, so I'm sure it was one of those. His brother was doing a live stream on our account as like a fucking like a Twitch stream. So somehow he put the NFG thing into Twitch and he broadcast it out. Mega Man 10, yeah, look that one up. I was like, what in the fuck is this? I was just laughing. I was like, can I delete this or do you need it? He's like, no, delete it. But it's funny.
Yeah, that's what can happen. I ain't trusting Mike with it. Channel will be closed down very, very quickly with him in charge. You just never know.
NFG's still limping along. I never posted it. Someone asked me the other day if Mike and I were still doing the one on Thursdays. You know, we used to do this one on Tuesday and the other one on Thursday. I was like, that's too much. I was like, no, we haven't done that for like 2 years. So like, I don't pay attention.
Oh, really? I thought you still done them every other month. I didn't realize it was
NFG, yes, but not the YouTube. We were doing a live stream YouTube with it was me, Mike, Corey, Fletch, and
I remember that. Yeah. Because
so.
I used to pop in and give you abuse now and again.
Yeah, so that's why I quit.
So Brad always backs down when I'm coming for him.
Mm-hmm. We'll see who's coming.
Brian Durrani wants your tip. That's all I can say.
They never get just the tip with me.
They get more than the tip.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's not much more, but yes.
Guys, please ask questions.
For the love of God.
Anything you want to know about, anything you want to know about PBNs, mini nets.
I figured we'd have more interlinking questions. I don't know what to call it because DAS is taken. I think Network Empire still owns that domain. Then I thought of TAS, Traffic Authority Stacking, but I'm sure Jimmy and Russ still have that. So I'll have to think of a new name. That's anyone that can think of a new name of like the mini-net method, I guess, still works, but they can think of a new name for interlinking all your mini-nets and linking them back up to your primary site.
Just that task that what domain authority stacking?
It was domain authority stacking. And then we needed something else because when Jimmy left, Network Empire, they had all the domains and shit, which I think made it up anyway. So I came up with Traffic Authority Stacking. Maybe we'll still call it TAS. I don't know. Yeah. Traffic Authority Stacking. Because that's what, I mean, the next iteration was building up the traffic to the individual sites, building them out so you can have traffic to them, and then interlinking them. So that's essentially what we're still doing. So we'll call it TAS still.
I'm just really shit. See, when it comes to launching something and people are like, what should we call it? What should we call it? I get fucking...
I've just got to put it in the back of my head, and it's got to rattle around back there, and then something will eventually pop.
Something will come up. There's guys you can pay to come up with that shit, is there not?
I burnt myself out on that kind of shit because
I hate it when you get one though and you're like, fuck, the .com's there but the .co.uk is not, because I won't go for a name without having both. So
I don't worry about the .co.uk,
but fuck that. .com is where the money's at. But Nerdy has a question. What's your experience with expired domains that were Asian spam farms, but before they had very long history in the targeted local niche?
If they're expired and they're only $10, what I'll do is I'll throw it up, run it through, throw up the site, grab it, throw up the site, put the old content on there, put some quick content, like new, fresh content up there. Get it indexed and see how it starts popping. If it's responding well, then the Asian spam, in my opinion, doesn't matter. Because I've built out whole networks with those because no one wants to touch them. But also do a Google Translate and see what the fuck they're selling on there. If it's something nasty or something that would put you in a bad neighborhood, maybe don't use it. But if a lot of them are pretty clean affiliate sites, so they just throw them up and see if they make money. If they make money, they keep them. If they don't, then they delete them. And then, so you've just got that blip in the history where it was an Asian site. But yeah, that's what I would do. See if you get any traction. Don't put a ton of time and effort into it. Once you see traction, then really start to go in there and do what you do.
Flavia, buffer link site, Google site, WordPress, or Blogger?
If I do any kind of buffer right now, it's all of them, and they're all tied to my entity. But I typically like to, I'd prefer to just build it direct to the site. But yeah, all of the socials, like just get your branded social, down, like an IFTTT gig, if they still have them on Fiverr or Upwork, or not, what's Upwork? What's the one with the Chris guy?
Mm-hmm.
Not Indeed. What is it, Craig?
I don't know. My mind's just went blank.
Walker.
Yeah. Fucking. I talk to him all the time as well.
Yeah, I've never talked to him.
Nah, he's a nice guy, man.
He seems legit.
Legit.
Yeah. Get a legit gig that builds out all those, or a Gnome or Marketer Center. You can get all your properties built out there. But yeah, then everything's pointing back to your site, and then that's what I would use as a buffer, if you want to. It also helps with indexing and shit more than anything, to be honest. I don't know how much it actually pushes the site.
Flavia, as a one-off, I'll give you a link. If you don't like to promote links as such, they should be easily Googleable. Legit. And there, as Blue Hat Hacker says, Blue Hat Hacker, that's not easy to roll off the tongue. You used to be able to test how good an expired domain was when Google had Shortener. But I think it's trial and error. Like,
just throw them up.
Throw them up, see what happens. And
that's why, back to like one of the original questions, should I learn HTML and this and that? It comes in very handy in situations like that when you need to throw up the site real quick.
Yeah. It's I've always done that anyway. Just throw up a website, let it sit for a few months.
I forget about them, to be honest. Yeah. I'm working on I'm trying to streamline my processes right now so I can build out, like double or triple my network within the next year or so. So first step was to organize everything. So I organized it, and then now I've got it to where I've got like 4 or 5 sites. They're just built out. I haven't started pushing them at all, but they're sitting there. So it's got the website URL, the spam clusters that I've done, the last time I've run anything on it, and then like the login info on it in the spreadsheet. So it's got all that. And then you get down to the ones that I haven't done. And it's kind of an assembly line process. That's how everyone should start thinking about. Everyone that can't seem to get enough done in the day should start looking at like processes and like think of it as an assembly line. Read an operations management book or something and apply it to SEO, and I think it'll help quite a bit.
Good tips. Legit. A link, please, Flavia. You've got your link for legit there. What was the other one you said? Market Center.
Marketer Center.
I've never heard of that one.
Really? It's old school. It's what the OGs use.
Marketer Center.
You got to sign up for the dashboard to see most of their shit, but that's Andrew's site.
I'll have a look.
They know their shit, and their customer service is better than anyone on any of the other sites, and it's all through one person. So it's solid. I knew people reselling Marketer Center back in the day. They would just sell it to like small groups, SEO. That's what people do when they need money. They would sell it to small groups, and then they would just go order it from Marketer Center. And they'll white label the shit for you too if you want.
Fair enough.
They provide solid deliverables if you need them for clients as well. So
that's all you need. Tick the box, humor the client, give them something.
Yeah. They can see that you're fucking doing something. Since I've switched to that whenever I do agency work, like if again, it goes back to the operations, but if I'm requiring myself to provide deliverables, no matter how good they're doing or whatever, then it forces me to one, do work in a consistent manner so I can provide the deliverables, and it keeps them much, much happier and keeps them on longer, in my opinion. Nerdy used to resell them.
Marketers Center. See, I can't even get on their website just now. They've got a paid ad going as well.
Really?
Marketers Center. Cashflow.com. White label SEO services.
Yeah, that should be them. Yeah.
Are you on it?
Mm-hmm. CR services.
I'm getting that this site cannot provide a secure connection.
It's good on my end.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Safari. Not working my end. I'll try it shortly. Kyle Starkey crushed your course last week.
Nice, man.
I
hope you enjoyed it. It's there's some pretty good nuggets in there. We've talked about revamping it, but I don't know. That takes time and effort, doesn't
it? And has that much changed?
Not really, to be honest. Yeah, if you build them out that way, the only thing I do now is I make them a little prettier. That's about it.
Flavia is asking, do you do all the things on Legit? Delegate it all?
Not Legit necessarily, but like sites like Legit, Fiverr. I've got I call him a VA, but he's a guy that's done websites for me for a while, but he'll do a bunch of different shit at this point. So I outsource a lot of stuff to him. A lot of the automation stuff, or the tedious stuff, I'll get the bot guy to write up a bot. If I find myself doing something over and over and over and over, and I know we could automate it, then I do that. So just compressing time at that point. But yeah, I would much rather purchase it from someone else and not take up my time trying to figure out how to do it. Like someone sent me a cloud stack software the other day. I'm like, man, I really don't want to sit down and learn how to do this shit. You know, I've got the shit that I know works and go from there. So
yeah. And you don't want that analysis paralysis garbage or whatever you call it as.
Yeah.
Whatever
it's a hedgehog concept from Good to Great, Jim Collins. It's focus on what you know works and keep doing it. You know, focus on the core.
Focus on the core, Kyle Starkey. So you read it. What have you done after that, Kyle? After taking the course, have you actually lodged a website yet? Have you shit something out?
Shit it out.
How many sites can you shit out a day using your automated ways?
I like them to look prettier at this point, so I'm building them really to convert, because that was an issue. Because back in the day, I could, you could pump out a bunch in a day, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. With Lead Gadget, you could do hundreds a day, to be honest, because it was in a centralized location. So that's what we were doing. But then the sites look like dog shit, so we'd have to cloak them over, and then you lose them simply because they're cloaked and they're non-recoverable at that point. So at one point, I was like, well, I'm going to get around the cloaking. I'm going to make a better looking site. So I take my time and I design them. So you can make a shit ton of money with 10 sites, though, 10, 15 sites, all in the same niche, all overlapping each other. Right now, I'm doing what I call, I'm implementing what I call like a keyword mesh. So it's one of the reasons why I wanted to organize everything last week. So I took all the sites I've got, and I know exactly what keywords I've gone after for each of those sites. I want to, I don't want to do that exact same keyword again, but I may want to do something like instead of, like say I did substance abuse treatment centers on one, I might do substance abuse treatment facilities on another. I might do outpatient substance abuse treatment on another. And then you've got like all this overlap. So if you're having trouble indexing on one site, another site's going to pick up steam. Or if one gets hit, you want them all to flux together. So I've got that core that I'm going to upload on most of them. You've got your core like rehab terms, and then in addition to that, on each of them, I want to go after the lower hanging fruit, like the specific types of drugs that someone might be addicted to. Not thinking like cocaine or meth, not the biggies, but like really digging down and doing the niche research, and then no one's going after. So then I add that on top of the core mesh, and then that's when you're just building a tennis ball of sites, essentially, all kind of stacked on top of each other.
A tennis ball of sites.
Mm-hmm. Tennis ball of sites.
I'm going to take that.
Do it.
Kyle is looking for expired domains, but he does have a question. If I were to use Elementor on all the websites, but styled differently, would you worry about getting PR?
On a shit ton of mine, I use the exact same theme. Even I just change it up. Pick Elementor. Enough people use that you're kind of in the crowd. If you want to do a few different site types, once you have a base of sites going, I get bored, to be honest. So, you don't want them necessarily to all be WordPress or whatever, but it's not something you have to worry about in the beginning, in my opinion. Just use a theme or plugins that like a shit ton of people are using, and then you're in the crowd. It's like using Cloudflare to hide your network. A bunch of people are on Cloudflare, but I wouldn't want to have all my sites on Cloudflare because that's kind of obvious. So, but I mean, if you're not interlinking, then it really does not fucking matter at all. You put them all on the same host, in my opinion. So, all the questions coming in at the end.
You always do. Why do you always leave it to the end? But we'll go through them all as quickly as we can. Mike has a picture.
Good. I put your picture away, Mike. Sat down and cried today.
Honey is saying using reverse proxy to hide the name server from Google in order to use the same hosting.
You can definitely do that, yeah. If you know what you're doing. Cloudflare, reverse proxy, you can just get a dedicated server and go that route. But it's still, you've got to worry about leaks. So,
Flavia, Brad, do you respin from time to time your websites?
I don't go in and spin something that's already spun, but I'll use the same article that's spun on a different site, just respin it in that regard. So also you can chop it up. You can curate it different, like take one paragraph, put it down here, take another paragraph, put it up here, and then spin it again. But yeah, once it's out there, aside from like small tweaks, if I really want to push for a keyword, I'm not changing it. Definitely not respinning everything.
Yoav, what system are you using these days for mass page and how are you getting them indexed? So Brad has his own system and Synbyte for indexing.
Yeah. Well, the HTML pages, I've got my own system. The WordPress pages, I just use SERPshaker. And then, yeah, like you said, Synbyte.
Synbyte is the current one that's working very well. So head over there. It's S. How do you spell that one again? SINBYTE.
Yeah, SINBYTE.
Yeah, because people always ask me that, and I'm like, I can't fucking remember anymore.
It's like sin. It's like a sin to have indexing this good.
Whore, someone to manage.
I think he means have, but I can never tell.
Links rank good, I hear.
Yes.
Links are always good. Just make sure you sort out Maeve with some edits.
Maeve, Dave, Grave.
Yeah.
Misbehave.
Misbehave's a new one. But any last minute questions? We have a minute and 30 seconds, guys. We need to reach the hour.
Otherwise, it's nap time for me.
Yeah. I'm actually going for a nap. I've got another podcast in 3 hours. So
how was Niche Website Builders earlier? I feel like I was flipping through and was she talking about redirects and shit today, or was that an old one?
No, it must have been an old one.
Okay.
She was just tearing down a couple of domains that they've got for sale. So just what you might want to use them for, what links they've got, all
what
that.
They have for sale, anything good?
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely workable. Not niches that I personally would go into.
What niche was it?
One was the RV truck niche, which
probably turn that one into a. There's got to be an affiliate, like an Airbnb for RV parks or something, like an RV, like find national RV parks. That's probably what I would do with it.
Yeah. So that one would have probably been the most interesting. But I said to her before, one of my team was sitting behind, and they're like, "What niche is she going to talk about today? Pots and pans or some fucking pencils?" You never know what's coming up and what niche is working. But it's interesting, obviously, to see the kind of search volumes and stuff like that in different niches. But RV, not for me. And I can't remember what the other one was, but it wasn't one that
RVnotforme.com. Is that what it was?
That could be. That's got a good ring to it.
I like it.
But they've got good stuff, good referring domains, and she'll talk about things that you can do with it. So hopefully people see value in it. And that's her job basically, is to
find domains.
Find domains, I think, yeah. Find out what is valuable about them. And yeah, it's not a bad job. Get
a screenshot of that.
Not both always nice.
All right, well, he can be here the next 3 weeks then. I'll take off. I'll take a month off.
We can understand it without Mike. Poor Mike's getting abuse.
That's what happens when you're not here.
If, guys, for any reason you want to throw some insults at Mike, stick them in the comments, because I know a lot of you guys will watch this later on today.
Just roast Brad too. Hashtag roast Mike. Hashtag roast Brad.
Give them what for. And yeah, why not? But we won't be here next week. Unfortunately, I will be in Dubai. So I think
you missing Palmer's too?
Yeah. Just the timing, it's 9 at night, and the thing on the Wednesday will be I'm speaking on the Wednesday late afternoon, then it's straight to the party. And I coming on here and doing that shit. And you're right, Blue Hacker, get a lampshade. For Brad.
Oh no, that's how it's supposed to be. It's industrial. So
industrial.
Get some style, Blue Hacker.
Big.
I got style. I got grace. I got burrito pillows.
Anyway, guys, let Brad do it. And we will catch you in 2 weeks' time. We're back on the 7th of March. So we will catch you then. But if any questions, just shoot one of us a message if you need to get hold of anyone. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time. And do check out Niche Website Builders. Link is below.